Hey guys, it's Zhang, and today I'm gonna give our regular shakshuka a little bit of an Asian makeover. I'm gonna infuse it with some Thai red curry to give it that bold, delicious flavor. I'm gonna make this for 2 people, so in my pretty small frying pan, I'm gonna heat it up to medium-high. Once it's hot, I'm gonna add a drizzle of olive oil and then some chopped onions. I'll saute it for about a minute until it's nice and translucent. Now I'm gonna add some frozen bell peppers. I love frozen bell peppers. You get the most bang for your buck with these, and they already come pre-sliced with multiple colors, so it's awesome. I'll saute it for another minute until it's soft, cooked through. Now I'm gonna add some minced garlic, and then our Thai red curry seasoning. If you have the paste, go ahead and use that, but I actually ran out, so I'm gonna use my Thai red curry seasoning from the Spice House. This one has paprika, spices, garlic, lime, lemongrass, shallots. It smells really good, and it's perfect. So we gave it a mix and toasted the spices for about a minute, and so now I'm gonna add our liquid in. We're gonna add some coconut milk. I'm using one from a can so it's nice and creamy. Some crushed tomatoes, a teaspoon of salt, and just give it a good mix. So at this point, I'm gonna let it simmer for a little bit, maybe like 5 minutes to thicken up, and then we'll add our eggs. So usually I like to take my spatula and just kind of create like a divot for it, and then I pour my egg into a ramekin and just slip it on in. That way it's nice and cozy. So now I have my heat on medium-low, but to get the white set, I'm gonna cover it up for a few minutes. This looks and smells incredible. What I like to do is hit it up with some salt and pepper and then just garnish it with some cilantro. All right, to serve, I mean, if you are making it for yourself, you can just dip it straight out of the pan. But if you're sharing it with someone, just go ahead and spoon out the egg into a bowl. Make sure you get the sauce. And of course, I like to dip it in some crusty bread. And this is how I like it. The yolk is still kind of soft, but not too soft where it drizzles everywhere. It's a soft boil. This is delicious. It's spicy, it's flavorful. The coconut milk just adds like a layer of creaminess in there. This is incredible. You guys have to try this. The waffle machine is a machine that gets used quite often in my house, and I don't share waffle recipes enough on this channel. So today I'm gonna share one of my favorite waffle recipes with you. It's a savory one with some cheese and onion. Okay, so I'm using one of my favorite waffle mixes here, and as you can see, it's almost gone. So we're just gonna finish it off today. And if you guys are wondering which one it is, it's Kodiak cakes, which they carry at Costco. It's pretty good. Dump it into the bowl, and it's a 1-to-1 ratio of liquid. So I'm just gonna add a cup of water to this real quick. I'm just gonna use a pinch of garlic powder, some mustard seeds, ground mustard seeds, cheddar cheese, and green onions, and a dash of salt. Just mix everything together. And let's waffle it up. Just spread it out. It's gonna expand, hopefully to cover the whole thing. That sizzle. It smells incredibly delicious, cheesy, oniony. Oh, cannot wait to dig in. And here's our stack of waffles. You can see the speckled cheese throughout, and then the green onions just kind of sunk in there. I like to dip it with ketchup. These waffles are savory enough, so I don't feel like I need the bacon or eggs to make it complete. I'm perfectly happy with it the way it is. This is another savory breakfast, and when you're in the mood for eggs and toast, you can never go wrong with an egg in a basket, or a toad in a hole, or an egg in a hole, or egg in a nest. Whatever you call it, I'm gonna amp it up a little bit to make it extra special. So first, I'm gonna preheat my skillet, and And I'm just gonna heat it up to medium-high heat. And then if you notice, I have 2 pats of butter, just really small. I'm gonna melt it in the skillet first, just 1.5. And then with my biscuit cutter, if you don't have one of these, you can always use like a glass, whatever has a round circular edge. And I'm just gonna punch a nice hole in the middle of my slice of bread. Now I'm just gonna swirl the pan so that the butter covers the entire bottom of it. If it begins to bubble too much, just go ahead and lower the heat. Now I'm gonna toast one side first, just make sure it's covered in butter, each one. And we're just gonna let it toast for a minute or 2 until it's nice and golden brown on that side. So as you guys notice, I really only have 5 ingredients for what I'm about to make. So typically a toad in a hole really has just eggs and toasted bread, and then you can eat it with ketchup or hot sauce. Very, very simple and filling and delicious. But today I'm gonna make something extra special. I'm gonna brown the butter, and then we're gonna add some fried garlic and sage just to really elevate it. So I have my sage here. It's gonna go fast, so I'm telling you guys all the steps right now. So we have some sage leaves. I like using the smaller ones. And then I have 1 clove of minced garlic that I've roughly chopped. Okay, our butter is starting to smell really good, and our bread is perfectly toasted. Here's where it starts to move quickly. So I've just flipped that over. This smaller piece is the one that you really should keep an eye on. But now I'm gonna add my egg directly into the hole and just cover it up. All right, so if the egg kind of spills over like that, it's not a big deal. Sometimes the hole is a little smaller than the egg itself. I'm just gonna take this white part off so that it doesn't burn later. Sometimes you just miscalculate how big the egg actually is. I thought this was a rather small one, and when I tested, it worked out perfectly, but hey, the more egg, the better, right? And so I covered it up, and I'm just gonna let it cook for about 2 minutes until the egg whites look pretty set. So I'm gonna flip this one over. It looks nice and toasted. Here comes the fun part. We're gonna add the other half of the butter, let it melt, and then I'm gonna add our garlic clove right on top of the butter into the sizzling bubbles, and then drop our sage leaves directly over that. Once the garlic starts to turn golden brown and then you can smell the sage, go ahead and get a small spoon, and we're just gonna spoon it directly over our toast. Don't forget the little piece too. And that's all it took to make this. It looks so incredible, and you can really smell the aromas of the sage and garlic. So what I like to do is just grab this little piece that we cut out, and I like to dip it First off, we gotta season it with a little bit of salt. And then what I like to do is take this little circular piece and just break open the egg with it. Look at that jammy yolk, oh, so good. So flavorful. This is like a fork and knife type of dish. The bottom's also perfectly toasted. I got a fried sage in there. This is just the coziest meal to wake up to.